Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today I am excited to bring to you a new Mattel Creations release, Redline Club release, and it is the Lamborghini Miura. Excited for that. I like these new boxes that they're putting this stuff in too. Quite fantastic. Yes, I purchased 2 of them. That was the limit per account, and I do not think that they actually sold out. I think this is the one I cut the tape on already. So we're going to check this out. Check that out right there. Lamborghini Miura. P400 SV. So pretty nifty. Before we get to it, it's not the first time that there's been a Hot Wheels Miura. It's the first time, of course, this is a brand new casting, but it's not the first time that there's been a Hot Wheels Miura. There's been a Miura before. This is the Miura casting from Hot Wheels. I don't know when it came out. Look at the copyright date. 2017 is the copyright date on the bottom. You can see it's got some exaggerated features. There is a large rear wheel and a smaller front one, which is accurate to a degree to the car. It's just not exaggerated like this. This in orange. I've got that one here, and then of course I've got the Super Treasure Hunt version of that, which is right here in orange. So just not that great. As a casting, I guess it's too exaggerated. Not really my thing. It's still nice, but the Miura is considered, one of, if not the most beautiful car that has ever been designed. That's kind of like its thing, right? Like people think that the Miura is the most beautiful car ever designed. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. It is a pretty car though. And I guess changing the features of it and exaggerating it, maybe not the best thing to do. There's a bunch of really cool versions of the Miura, by the way, as well, that Hot Wheels doesn't do, like the Miura Joda. I think it's Yoda or Joda. That's really cool. There's tons of brands that have put out the Miura. I've actually got a few aside here. Kyosho for one. Let's grab this little silver Kyosho. So this is a Lamborghini Miura. It says Miura Joda, but this is not the Joda. I don't know why it says that either. I think this is, I don't know what the deal is with this one. I have a couple of different Miuras. This was just the closest one for me to be able to dig it out, and it's not like in perfect shape. I got it off of eBay a long time ago, but they've come out with a few different Miura castings and a few different ones. So you can see this proportionately is what we're looking for. And then of course there's also Tomica Limited Vintage, which I'll show that in a minute. But that's like the gold standard. We'll get to that. But anyway, a lot of like premium import brands have put out the Miura in one way or another. So I just had this as one example. This one's actually got a side mirror on it. I don't know how accurate that is, but one side mirror. It's got like some... This isn't a perfect model. This one has a plastic base, rubber tires, metal body. But you've got options when it comes to getting the Miura. So, and we'll look at the other ones here in a second, but it's also, Matchbox made a Miura. I got an example of that here we're going to look at too. But let's actually get this thing open first, and then we'll kind of talk about the other, what you have available for options. If you just want a nice die-cast version of a Miura, is this the best thing you can get? Or is this the coolest one you can get? Maybe not the most accurate, but maybe the coolest one. I don't know. That's going to be something you're going to have to determine. If you like the Miura, if the Miura is one of your favorite cars, there are lots of options, and I'll show you some of the options I have, not all of them. So you get lots of boxes going on here. You get that exterior brown box there that you could just leave it in there if you wanted to. It is labeled on the outside of what it is. You could leave it right in here in this white box like this, Mattel Creations. White inner cardboard box there. And then this beautifully done acrylic case cover box here. And then, of course, the actual vehicle itself. So these are not numbered, like none of the current RLC pieces or Mattel Creation pieces are numbered. So we don't know what the production number is on these. I can imagine that they made a ton of them, especially since they are still available, I think, on RLC. I thought this was going to sell out. I definitely thought this model was going to be one that sells out, if anything. But it didn't. Not initially anyway. I don't know if it's still there now, but let's check it out. So it's in like an antifreeze green color. I can tell right off the bat it's a pretty good one, without even getting it out of the acrylic case. But the presentation of the model is nice. It's very nice. Some people really prefer the carded models. Some people like the acrylic cases. I kind of like it either way. The acrylic cases are nice because you can just display them as they are inside the acrylic case. Oftentimes when I do that, I take out this little plastic piece right here and then just display it like that because I don't like that plastic piece being in the way. But that holds the opening parts down, which we can look at in a second. So I'll just put this like that for now. And pretty nifty. So 2 screws hold it to the base. Not my favorite thing. I hate when they use 2 screws. I wish they used 1 screw and a peg. But nope, they use 2. And of course we're going to have an opening front and an opening rear. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I am liking this model. I think it's very nicely done, quite nicely done. And it looks to be pretty much, might have a wider butt than it's supposed to. Let's go ahead and unscrew it from the base so we can really get a look at it. So, and I know Hot Wheels really, it's not about making a perfect scale replica for Hot Wheels, right? Never has really been, and it never will be. I mean, you've got Hot Wheels 100%, you got some Elite 64s, which tend to be, I don't think they're even scale accurate or even really try to be, but they have a little bit more detail, stuff like that. But this model definitely appears to be a little bit larger than 1/64 scale. And I can tell that right away because of the Kyosho is probably pretty close to actually being 1/64. Our little example Kyosho there, that's kind of in rough shape. But that one, and it is the Joda model. I think it's just not the, whatever. We don't need to really get into it. But anyway, so this one, this little hourglass shape they gave it, I think is a little bit exaggerated from what it's supposed to be. Let's see here. Tires are rubber slicks. No tread on those tires. You get some exhaust detail. There's some detail in the base there. It's the SV. Pretty good there. Pretty solid graphics on the back. Nice looking taillights. P400 SV. There's the headlights with the eyelashes there. Lambo logo. I mean, it's a pretty car. I don't want to get fingerprints all over it. That's the problem with Spectraflame and mirrored paint. And then, of course, we have these opening features. So, look at that. I mean, there's nothing to complain about in the detail department underneath there. That looks fantastic. This model was expensive, by the way, though. I will tell you that. It was pretty pricey. I can't even remember exactly how much it cost with shipping because I bought 2 of them. But it was expensive. Let's call it $40 to get to your house, something like that. $40 for just the one car. Pretty good detail in there, and of course it's got both of these opening parts, which actually, and I get scared with Spectraflame because I feel like these sharp edges here, you're going to chip the paint pretty easy. But the way that these things kind of close, I don't think I'm that scared of it. I think it should be pretty good. So, pretty awesome. I think they did a good job. Now, there is quite the gap right here between the back panel, and it's more obvious than the one in the front panel, because the one in the front panel actually makes up the door panel as well. So you feel like, you know, there should be a line there, and that seems about okay for 1/64 scale. The lineup here seems pretty decent as well. But the one in the back, there is definitely visible gap there that looks a little bit beyond the size that it would be if we were talking scale replica. Now, again, this isn't necessarily supposed to be a perfect scale replica. So, I I think this one's a winner. I actually quite like it. I think there's a lot of detail on the interior as well. Let's see if we can get somewhat of a shot of that. Kind of hard to exactly look in there, but it's got a nice amount of detail. It looks good. Quality control wise, at a glance, this thing seems to be done really, really well with no real issues. So I am a fan of this release. It's a little pricey, but I'm a fan of it. And again, it's not the first time we've gotten sort of a scale accurate Miura. These are Matchbox Miuras right here. The S, not the SV. And I think the SV did have a wider butt. That's why that one's got it. See, this is more straight forward, but still a pretty car. Pretty awesome. Lamborghini Miura. The older casting, 2010. Mattel. But so just letting you know that, because it's not the first time Mattel's done a Miura, right? And actually Matchbox did a Miura way back in the day. Look at this. This is a Miura. This is a Lesney, made in England. This one's actually got working steering. Check that out. And opening doors. Pretty nifty there, right? A little dust on the inside. That's okay. This model is very old. I don't even know exactly what year it is, but you do see the line here. And see the line here. And you can see that that's pretty close, pretty accurate. This one's got suspension as well. Suspension and opening doors and steering, which the steering is a little goofy. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't even pose it like that, so I just thought that's kind of weird. But metal on metal. It's got the classic kind of Matchbox wheels. Cool piece. I'm glad to have it in my collection. So that's pretty neat. But then what we really need to do, like if you're going to get the best Miura and most accurate scaled and most beautiful version of this car, there's really nothing else to get aside from the Tomica Limited Vintage. Tomica Limited Vintage Neo. And this one's got all the opening features. It's got nice details. Very nice details in there. Look at that. You can see the engine right there. That's a cool feature. I don't think you get that from this one. Can you see the side of the engine through like the little frame action? Like it's sitting in there? Nope, not on this particular version. But again, this is the SV. So the P400 SV. This one is not that. Oh, maybe it is. Lamborghini Miura SV. Why does it have not as wide of a butt? Wide hips. Maybe this is more accurate. Maybe this one is more exaggerated just to make it look cooler. I don't know. But I mean, look at the wheels on this one. That is quite nice. I mean, they're pretty good. These are pretty good. Nothing to complain about. These are just obviously a lot more accurate. Now, this is not a cheap piece either. This Tomica Limited Vintage. You get inserted headlights on this one. Inserted taillights. It's metal on metal. You get exhaust detail, and then of course you get the opening features as well. And they do it probably the best ever. There is a gap. I mean, it's a visible gap there, but I guess that is visible pretty much if you're looking at any of the ones. I mean, this has the gap cast into it. Even the Hot Wheels here has that line cast into it right there. So, pretty nifty. And this one, you have a bunch of different color options from Tomica Limited Vintage as well. So, if you want to get this model is pricey for sure, but not much more than the Hot Wheels. So, if you really want an accurate scale replica, I'm still going to say this one is king. But if you're a Hot Wheels collector and you like the Miura, this thing is beautiful. That's my verdict. I think it's a really nice Hot Wheels. Am I glad that I got two of them? I don't know. Time will tell. I'm going to hang on to one for a while. And we'll see what happens. Usually not much of a value collector, but I thought this thing was going to sell out. I thought it'd be a lot more popular than what it was. And it just didn't do it. So, but still, scale-wise, you know that this one's going to be accurate. So the Miura is actually quite a bit smaller than this particular car. All right, but I definitely think that this Hot Wheels Miura is a lot better than the mainline casting for the Miura, which looks like it was designed to be good on the track. So that might be why. All right, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Again, this thing is a beauty. It's pretty sweet. It's just not the best of the best. But for Hot Wheels, it is really darn good, I think. And I think it's a good one to have. So I'm glad I got it. All right, thank you guys very much for watching, and have yourself a good day.